After many trials and tribulations, it has finally happened. I have completed every single path of Fire Emblem 3 houses. It only took 150 hours! Oh dear lord. And I breezed through my final path playthrough in a very quick 22 hours, which actually highlights perhaps the biggest issue I had with the Silver Snow path, otherwise known as the Church of Seiros path. Before I start in on that topic though, for the final time, I must warn you viewers that these Path Thoughts videos are not spoiler free. If you have not completed Silver Snow, at the very least, you will be spoiled on the events of that path, and likely the other paths as well. Here we go. Silver Snow is basically the exact same path as the Golden Deer / Verdant Wind path. The story beats are almost entirely the same, and the maps, apart from the final one, are exactly the same. I have to nitpick to find differences, like Silver Snow's path skipping over the battle at Gronder Field, or the simple fact of the matter that Claude isn't with the army. Instead, Seteth takes a leading role as advisor to Byleth on this path. Originally, when I heard about this route, I thought this was the moment where Rhea would really get to shine as pretty much the lord of this path. That is not the case. She is gone for almost the entire second half of the story, and so there is pretty much no lord, since neither Seteth nor Byleth fit into that role despite being the most prominent cast members. This absence makes the story a lot less compelling for me than the other paths, and since the battles were all the same, I was relying on the story to keep me engaged, and it struggled at times. The battles, apart from the final battle, which was an intense battle, were very repetitive after having played all those maps at least 2 times before, with very little variation in enemy types and objectives. This repetition meant that I cut down on playtime simply by turning off animations in battles, and I didn't really feel their absence since I'd seen it all before. For final units used, my team included all the Black Eagle students, apart from Hubert and Edelgard, of course, so that's Caspar, Petra, Ferdinand, Dorothea, Linhart, and Bernadetta. After them, I had Byleth, Shamir, Marianne, Sylvain, Leonie, and Ingrid rounding out my team. I mainly based it on join time since I recruited every character, but waited for them to come to me first, at least for the students. The kills leaderboard started with a tie at number 5 between Leonie and Ingrid. Number 4 was Petra, then Caspar, Dorothea, and finally the one and only Byleth. Caspar in particular impressed me as a unit during this playthrough. He was benched in my Black Eagles run, but without Edelgard to compete with him as an axe unit, he got his chance to shine and he took it and ran with it. In these videos, I've spent the character section giving quick thoughts on all the prominent characters from that pathway. That leaves this section though with only 5 characters I really haven't talked about in previous videos. Seteth, Flayn, Rhea, Sothis, and finally Byleth, who will get their own section like the big 3 before them. These thoughts then may not be as quick as the previous character thoughts as I try to capture what impressions these characters left on me, starting with Flayn. Flayn is a very kind and somewhat sheltered woman who is actually much older than she appears. Flayn has some great supports, mainly because her mannerisms and thoughts are just unique. The writers did a good job of portraying her as not out of touch, but still somewhat out of place/time. She's still an endearing character though. Seteth, Flayn's father, although he claims that he's her brother for reasons. Did they think it would reveal their heritage or something? I never quite got that. Anyways, he is the strict administrator we all encountered at one point or another in our schooling days. He is very protective of Flayn and quite competent. While a fine character, he only had a couple standout moments to me, which meant I relegated him to the background in my thoughts a lot of the time. Rhea, perhaps because I started out with the Black Eagles path, usually rubbed me the wrong way. She seemed so sure she was right about everything. She rarely sought out other opinions. I do accept, though, that she was generally benevolent to everyone she could be. Manipulative? Sure, but also capable of great acts of kindness, and her intentions were almost always good. Sothis had some great moments as the impatient mentor to Byleth. What brings her down for me, though, was that she spent all her time interacting with Byleth, who is a very blank character. It's hard to work off of that for any character, but Sothis still got some great moments when her impatience broke through her desire to play the spiritual deity mentor. That brings us to Byleth, the avatar of this game. I do love the detail the developers put in about Sothis' Creststone in Byleth, causing them to be very stoic and blank emotionally until she woke within them. It helped explain why Byleth was such a blank character, which I think was the right approach after the Corrin situation in Fates. As an avatar, Byleth did their job quite well, allowing them to be an audience insert if necessary, or just a useful character to help develop the rest of the cast in other cases. On the other hand, I do think it's possible to have a good avatar that has more personality than Byleth showed. Persona in particular is good at creating those avatars, but Byleth was fine for this game. I'd still rank Byleth below Robin on my list of favorite Fire Emblem avatars, but the improvement from Corrin was great. And I also think Byleth beat out Mark and Chris by being actually involved, but not too involved with the plot. Gotta say though, my Byleth probably wouldn't be the best choice for leader of all of Fodlan. Sure we can't get Claude back on this? I look at the Silver Snow path though as a decent amount of wasted opportunity. I don't begrudge IS for making the path this way, considering how much content Three Houses already gave us. The potential to make Rhea a more prominent figure, or at the very least playable, or maybe, not dying at the end unless you get an A rank with her, I think really could have sparked life into this path. Even the mandatory path revelation seemed rather tame. We already knew Sedith and Flayn were children of the goddess. It was evident after only one playthrough. The specifics about Byleth's birth was nice since the Golden Deer path didn't have that, but it was definitely not worth another complete path to get. I'm not greedy though. 3 excellent and distinctive paths and 1 rather redundant path is a pretty good deal, I'd say. And hey, maybe I'm being unfair to the Silver Snow path. Perhaps it seems better if you go with it first before the Golden Deer path. The journey is nearly at an end. But this video actually kicks off my Fire Emblem week for this channel, where every day of the week, not counting the weekend, I will have a new video up about Fire Emblem 3 Houses. I hope you enjoy it, just like I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave a like and comment below which path was your favorite and why. I know it's a hard choice, I'm not even sure what my answer would be. Subscribe to keep up with Fire Emblem Week in the channel, and I hope you have a great day and happy gaming.